Brisbane Rugby League's first Sunday grand final between Valleys and Easts attracts a record crowd to Lang Park, headquarters of the Code in Queensland. Valleys mascot receives a boisterous welcome from some of the Tiger fans. The intense rivalry between the teams ignited when Valleys were responsible for East's first loss of the season. Overcoming the setback, the Tigers accounted for Norths in the semis and Souths in the final. Now they're ready to give of their utmost to bring Easts their first premiership in 21 years. But they face a Herculean task. Second rower Des Morris leads Easts. He has the huge responsibility of leading a team, 11 members of which are playing in their first grand final. It's anticipated he'll have a marked influence on the scrums, where hooker Johnny Lang is expected to win at least an even share of the ball. Nick Retchless captains Valleys. They're a bigger side, but possess the same speed as their opponents. A much more seasoned 13, Valleys' experience was a contributing factor in their second semi-final win over Souths, and it could be of the same significance today. Undaunted at the prospect of playing last season's premiers, the youthful Tigers appear to have been brought to their peak by former state coach Ted Ferencamp, who for the first time coaches a Brisbane grand final team. As Valleys follow on from the kick-off, Fullerton drives the ball back to their half. Anticipating keenly, Abraham fields the ball and cuts infield, where he's securely grounded by Curry. Standing up on their rivals, East chop the ball off, forcing the opposition back into the ruck. Their forwards combining well, Valleys go the blind side. McCabe bursting through tackles as he makes towards the 25. Valleys swing the ball wide through their backs, turning it back inside. But Curry takes Gill before he's able to get through a narrow opening. Giorgio provides a snappy service, but coming up on the outside, the defence forces Fife back into the pack. Playing it tight, the diehards leave no scope for penetration as they go one below and one over the top. In an effort to unsettle the defensive pattern, the Tigers switch the point of attack. Having the ball well covered, Clark tries to link up with supports, but he's taken by Pierce. The enterprising Perkins takes advantage of a gap in the ruck. The Tigers' covering is sound, but their line disjointed. They continually meet body-shaking tackling. Valleys fail to guard the blind side, and Lang dashes along the flank more in the manner of a winger than a hooker. Kicking infield, Lang holds McCabe back. Following on and favoured by the bounce of the ball, Denman goes in for the first try after 3 minutes. Fullerton's conversion gives East a 5-0 lead. Unable to break through the centre, East give the ball air. Under hard pressure, McCabe takes the ball on his fingertips to check a dangerous situation. Close marking defenders prevent Scanlon from accelerating. Positioned wide of the ruck, Perkins draws the defence to set up Fitzpatrick. Stepping through the scrambling Tigers, Fitzpatrick has Abraham in support. A clever dummy and a perfect pass sends Abraham sprinting for the line. The try again in slow motion. Scrums are robust affairs, and the fitness of all forwards is being truly tested. Midway between the half and 25, East are penalised for hooking with the nearest foot, giving Clark a goal-kicking chance. Valley's even the score after 10 minutes. East are gaining an edge in the scrums, but are being driven across field, Retchless defending stoutly. Running onto the ball and turning it back inside, Easts try to split Valleys down the middle. Before the defence can form up, Fullerton kicks downfield, but well positioned, Clark takes play away from the danger area. Each side is eager to go the blind, but this could lead to a lessening in effect of the surprise element. Again, Valleys try the blind, and they're anxious to give scope to their speed men. The slow-motion camera emphasizes Fullerton's power. He's willing to come up into the play, but has little chance of breaking Valley's firm grip on midfield. Forced wide by the converging defence, Morris is grounded by the hard-working Retchless. His pass goes astray and into touch. The halves are having a keen struggle. Threlfo's alertness giving Valleys a chance to run their backs. A reverse pass from Retchless sends Scanlon tearing through an opening. Cutting out Fitzpatrick, he sends Norris flying for the corner. Finishing off the movement, he leaps over to score. Their scrummaging operating effectively, Easts enjoy a greater share of possession, but Valleys tackle relentlessly. Tending towards hesitancy in attack, the Tigers allow the opposition a fraction more time to move up, and East's backs are forced to run crabwise across the field. Gill's high tackle is brushed aside by Crasini, who steps inside to straighten the attack. Drawing the defence, he gets a pass away as Easts continue pressuring the diehards. Dominant in the scrums, East have lock-forward Fife standing out in the capacity of second 5/8. Failing to consolidate their advantages, East surrender possession, and the opportunist Perkins spearheads a raid. Gill is hard to pull down. From dummy half-hooker O'Doherty to linkman Scanlon, who feeds the forwards. Standing out wide, McCabe is again prominent. More constructive now, and running onto the ball, East join the defence. Changing their point of attack to find the open spaces, Eel slices through. An ankle tackle by Clark brings him down inside the 25. As Valleys form their defensive line, East's forwards go the blind. The diehards are ruled offside. Reverse pass from Eel splits the defence. Backing up, Curry sidesteps his way through to dive over for the Tigers' second try. An easy conversion by Fullerton, and East hit the front. Valley's forwards counter-attack well inside East's half. The backs take over. Held by the fast-moving defence, Scanlon reverses to McCabe, who's taken heavily in full stride. Working play back infield, Valley's errors ease the strain on East's. A defensive lapse by the diehards, and Lewis tears through the gap with Denman in support. Valley's cover desperately. The Valley's backline make good use of the ball, Clark coming up to make the extra man. Exploiting the overlap, Fitzpatrick sends the unmarked Abraham down the flank. His well-directed kick infield is cleverly gathered by Denman, who comes across from the opposite wing to cover. The linesman's report to referee Ron Harbottle results in a penalty against East's right in front, a ruling disputed by Morris. Stick levels the scores. O'Doherty and Perkins combine to take play 30 yards from East's line. Standing deep, Valley's attack. McCabe turning the ball inside to Hughes. But the Tigers' tackling is solid as they protect their 25. Lewis steals the ball from Scanlon. Fife is always eager for work, but Valleys are determined to keep East's penned in their own half. On the burst, Khan stands up in Fitzpatrick's tackle to send Cuss sidestepping his way through narrow openings. Onto the alert Curry, who dashes over halfway. Backing up, Cuss handles a second time, but the movement breaks down as Giorgio knocks on. Trilfo snaring possession. Standing wide of the scrum, Gill is taken in a driving tackle by Curry as the referee signals half-time. Although they've not been getting as much possession from set scrums, Valleys are able to make ground easier, their big forwards laying the foundations for much of their constructive work, as planned by coach Henry Holloway, a former international forward. Breaking through tackles on the resumption, Gill takes play almost to halfway. As Valleys take the offensive, Hughes powers through into East half. O'Doherty gets the inside backs functioning at full charge, and McCabe goes up the centre, to the appreciation of opposition leader Mr. Gough Whitlam. Maguire relishes the forward battle. Power and speed, the basic essentials of the code, are freely utilized by both sides. McCabe to Clark. A misjudged field goal attempt gives East possession through Kaus, who leads a thrust downfield aided by rather vigorous encouragement. From a Valleys penalty, Fullerton has a chance to send East into the lead. But he's wide of the mark, and Clark, using a well-concealed dummy and change of pace, cuts through to beyond the 25. On to Hughes as Valleys storm towards East half, but there's no weak link in East's line. Though not as fast as Valleys, Easts are durable and they're still getting plenty of the ball. and they're effective on the blind side. The inside backs are finding it difficult to penetrate as their counterparts continue moving up on the outside. Overall, the tackling maintains a high and bruising standard, and the pace of the game never slackens. A tough chance for Fullerton. He's about 50 yards out. It falls short, and Clark deliberately runs wide of the goalposts to turn the pass inside to Scanlon, as Valleys quickly work their way out of immediate danger. As Pearce moves off the mark to cover Perkins, O'Doherty accelerates through the ruck. Sweeping the ball wide to Hughes on the edge of the ruck, Valleys are away, as Clark, sidestepping Koss, sends to Fitzpatrick. Running across the face of the defence, Gill tries to straighten, but he's taken by Khan on the last tackle. Valleys ball. Threlfo's pivoting pass gives Scanlon room to move. He beats Fife, but the referee and Threlfo go down in the one tackling movement, about 8 yards out from the East's line. Stepping wide of the marker, Retchless spears through to reach out and score under the posts. Thoroughly deserved reward for Retchless, who's having a great game. Clark converts, and Valleys take a handy lead. Slow to execute a move, Easts lose possession as the terrier-like O'Doherty dashes downfield. A judicious kick through, and Valleys are in a favourable attacking position. Time is closing in and tension increasing. The struggle for possession intensifies, the enterprising diehards varying their pattern, hoping to wrong-foot the Tigers. The backs take play out wide and turn it back inside, but the cover defence blocks up the gaps. Well, he doesn't seem to agree with the tactics. The superior pace of the Valleys is clearly evident as the match moves into the closing stages. But a loose pass from Perkins for Fitzpatrick gives Easts the chance to turn the attack. Fitzpatrick is down, and the linesman's in to report. Back in possession, Valleys hammer away at East's defences in the Tigers' half. The forwards of both sides are feeling the strain of a non-stop duel. But spotting an opening, McCabe gets the ball from Hughes and is pulled down a couple of yards short of the posts. On for Maguire, Crilly to Retchless, who pots a field goal. That almost makes Valleys safe, as East would have to score twice to take the lead. They have sufficient time, but the way Valleys are playing, the odds are against them. Easts keep trying to the limit of their capacity, and Valleys cannot afford complacency. Easts are becoming ragged and probably lose their last opportunity. penalty to the diehards just inside the 25. Though the angle is reasonably acute, it shouldn't be too difficult a shot for Clark. That puts the game well beyond East's reach. Full-time and victory to Valleys, 18-10. Scoring 3 tries to 2, they take their second successive premiership and their 11th overall to equal North's record. Moose Maguire comes out to share in the celebrations. Players show their appreciation of Mick Wetchless's captaincy. Although sustaining injuries which twice necessitated ambulance attention, he maintained a high personal standard, whilst always exercising firm control over his team. Proudly displaying the Kirk's Cup, the diehards take off on a lap of honour. Acclaimed almost to a man, the 1971 Valleys combination brings distinction, not only to their club, but to the game of rugby league in this Brisbane Golden Jubilee year.